It has been 309 days since I started investing in SCHD. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at how that investment has been performing for me. Guys, if you've been paying attention to the market today, we have been in a free fall across the board. So I'm curious to see how that's going to impact my investment in SCHD. As you guys know, I have not been in my account to look at how my investment is doing because I like to do them in real time as I'm making these videos for you guys. But from everything that I'm seeing, we are down across the board, and I'm not 100% certain what the genesis of that is. I do know that FOMC happened yesterday and the Fed came out and they held rates steady. I didn't see anything that gave any indication that there were going to be additional cuts above and beyond the two that I believe that the market thinks will happen throughout 2026. So we're just going to have to take a look and see what's going on in the market and what is causing the downturn. I was having a coaching call last night, and part of the conversation went in to discuss the importance of dollar cost averaging. And when we see the market make these types of moves, because today's moves were big to the downside, it's extremely important that we understand the power of dollar cost averaging. I've had several people in the past reach out and ask questions about why I dollar cost average every single day. That might be a little extreme. And for most people, I don't recommend that you have to go in and invest daily. You can do it daily. There's nothing against that because I think it helps to build that investment habit, but there needs to be a cadence, right? Whether that's weekly, every other week, monthly, where you're investing into your favorite positions, into the stock market, and not simply just trying to time the market, but just being in the market. And the free fall in the market today is proof that dollar cost averaging, in my opinion, is the way to go. All right, let's go ahead. Let's jump in. Let's see how SCHD has been performing for me. So if you take a look to the top left of my screen here, you'll see that I am up a total of $261.31, and I'm up roughly about 8.24%. So that's a difference from the last time that I provided this update video. SCHD has been moving slightly up to the upside in that band that is trading in, and that's reflected in my overall P&L as of today. If you take a look to the right on the day, I'm up $35.84, and I'm just up over 1%. So the market is going crazy right now to the downside, but I am up in my investment by $35. So SCHD so far doesn't appear to have been impacted by a lot of the movement to the downside in the stock market. I'll be interested to see, is it mostly going down in the market because of the stocks in the Mag 7, your Microsofts, your Apples, your Nvidias, or is there something else that's happening in the market and I just haven't had an opportunity to take a look at that yet? Now, if you take a look right below that, you'll see I have a total market value of $3,432.44, and I have a total cost of $3,171.13, and I have an average price of $27.36. Now, if you look below that to the quantity, I have a total of 115.92, so almost 116 shares in SCHD, and it makes up 36.91% of my total portfolio that I have here in Webull. If you guys have watched any of my previous content, then you know that I now have 4 holdings in this portfolio. We started off with VOO, and then we added SCHD, and then we added VGT, and at the top of the year, I added VTI. And speaking of VTI, that is the index fund that I chose for my $5 a day investment challenge that I kicked off on January 1st of 2026. If you haven't had an opportunity to jump in to the stock market, make sure you check out my $5 a day investment series that I currently have going on right now with VOO. I've been investing $5 a day in that position since January 1st of 2024. So if you haven't had an opportunity to check out any of those videos or jump in the market, I'll make sure to leave a link down in the description below to that video so you could check it out. And you can see the last price that I was able to purchase SCHD at was $29.61. Right now, SCHD is trading at $29.60. We had a high on the day of $29.79 and the low of $29.45. So very, very tight band that we're trading in as of this moment. And then if you take a look right below that in the far left column, you'll see that we opened on the day at $29.30, and our prior close was $29.30. We have a 52-week high of $29.79. So we're right up near the 52-week high. And after this, I'll show you how this has been trading on a yearly perspective. We'll take a look at the chart so you can see that. And then we have the 52-week low of $23.18. And we have a 1-year cumulative return of 8.5%. And you can see that in the far right column there. Right here, we're taking a look at a yearly candlestick chart for SCHD. I like to show you guys these charts because it gives you a visualization of how the position has been moving from a yearly perspective. Now, if you take a look at the candles here, you'll see we have a very steep movement to the upside in this position. And we've had some pullbacks, but it just continues to bounce and move back up. Now, I didn't get into my position in SCHD until it actually split back in 2025. So I like seeing how this position continues to move to the upside and hit those 52-week highs. That's what I really like to see. And I really want to see, how does it react once it touches that 52-week high? Are we going to get above $30, which is a sign that potentially we can continue to have some movement to the upside into this position? Or will it reject off of that 52-week high and start to sell off to mirror what's going on in the market today? So it'll be interesting to see that. But for all of the people out there that have said SCHD is dead, it's still moving to the upside. I still think it has a place in my portfolio, and I have no plans of liquidating my position in SCHD anytime soon. So we're just going to continue to invest and chill into this position for the long term. All right, so now I'll quickly touch on how much that I've received in dividends since investing in SCHD. So far I have received a total of $76.17, and the last dividend payout that I received was back in December of 2025 in the amount of $28.61. I do have the dividend reinvestment program activated for all my investments in this portfolio. So the $28.61 that I received back in December was enough at that time to purchase one full share of SCHD. So it just automatically gets reinvested back into my position. Now, if you just started investing in the market, or you've been in for a little while and you're not reinvesting your dividends back into your position, I would strongly encourage you to activate that and just allow those dividends to just be reinvested back into your position, because over time it starts to add up. It starts really small, but once you get going, then it starts to increase. So at some point, I'm going to start getting enough in dividends every 3 months to get 2 shares, then 3 shares, then 4, and so on. So I'm really looking forward to see how this progresses as we get through 2026 and beyond. All right, so now we're going to take a look at some of the comments that you guys left on my last SCHD update video. As you guys know, I love getting comments from you guys and responding to every single one of those comments. So the very first one is, SCHD helps balance your portfolio if you're invested heavy in tech ETFs. I agree. I mean, I definitely like to invest in SCHD as well as VGT. They're both in my portfolio, and I think they're both solid investments. The next comment that I'll read, SCHG and SCHD. That just really solidifies the previous comment that I wrote. If you like SCHG over VGT, or if you like QQQ over VGT or SCHG, that's completely fine. But I think it's a solid pairing to get a growth ETF investment as well as a dividend focused reinvestment. So I agree with you on this one as well. The next comment, I'm currently at 235 shares. My goal is 1,142 shares in total. That's solid. I don't know why 1,142, but I don't need to know why. You know why. And once you get to that point, I really would like to understand what your dividends are looking like, because I think at that point in time, you'll start to really see the power and the momentum that dividends can play in a portfolio once you have over 1,000 shares. So shout out to you. And the next comment that I'll read is, SCHD isn't going anywhere. I think it's a great anchor to any portfolio. Again, I agree. There are some people that leave comments that hate SCHD. Some people think that there are better options out there, and there may be. But again, I always say invest in what meets your criteria for what you want from a long-term investment portfolio. There's no right or wrong way to invest. You have to do what works individually for you. All right, guys, so that's my 309-day update in SCHD. You guys know that I've been trying to build out this portfolio right in front of you guys and show you the real data, show you how everything is really performing. And so far, I'm happy with how my investment is going. I have 115 shares, and the only thing that I've done is invest and chill my way to that number of shares in this portfolio. And I'm going to continue to allow this portfolio to grow over 2026. And if we do see a downturn in the market across the board, it doesn't change the plan. It doesn't change how we're approaching how we invest. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.